how can you do diagnosis on Zoom? Well, the first thing is we're not going to teach you to diagnose. That's something that only certain medical and allied health professionals can legally do, and Pilates instructors cannot, unless they're also physiotherapists or medical doctors or whatever, cannot legally diagnose medical conditions or injuries. So what we are going to teach you is how to assess your client's movement, their strength and their functional abilities. And on Zoom, you do that pretty much the same way that you do it in person. You give them clear instructions on what to do, and then you watch the result. For example, if you have a client with with knee pain that's stopping them from squatting, one of the things you're going to need to do is to watch them squat. And you're going to need to watch them squat from, probably a couple of different angles, from the front and from the side. So we will teach you as part of your tutorial process will be to teach you how do you train your client, how do you instruct your client about how to position their device, so that you can see them from the right angle with the correct amount of light, and so you can clearly evaluate their movement. And another thing you might want to test might be their leg strength on both sides, to measure their painful leg strength versus their non-painful leg strength. And the way you might do that might be you might do lunges or split squats or full depth one-legged squats, depending on the situation, to failure on one side, then on the other side, and then see if there's any difference. And again, you would just, give them clear instructions on where to position their device and where to stand, and then clear instructions on how to execute the move, and then you just observe the result. So really the only extra step on Zoom that's different to doing that in an in-person situation is you need to be able to give really clear instructions to your client on how to position their device so it's the right distance from them, and it's filming them from the right angle, and there's the lighting is good, so they don't have their back to a window, for example, so that you can see them clearly and assess what you need to assess. So really that is the core kind of, I think, concern or question that a lot of people have had, which is, how do you study online? How do you assess online? Really, you do it the same way that you do it in person in many ways. And in fact, the online format actually allows you more in-person time, more live interaction, more real-time feedback, more guidance, more observation of skilled people doing the skills that you're learning than you would have in a face-to-face course. Next question is about the schedule. I've had a bunch of questions kind of about the scheduling of how does a week look. So, for example, the diploma lecture is going to be, and all times I'm talking about are in Melbourne, Australia time, so AEDT, Australian Eastern Daylight Time. The lecture is on Mondays at 11 a.m. and it's delivered live. However, it's also recorded. So, if Mondays at 11 a.m. doesn't work for you for whatever reason, you can watch it back. All of our lectures are uploaded within 3 hours of the finish of the lecture. They will be available to you within your e-learning portal to watch back. And if you're watching after the fact, you can still ask questions because we have our community platform called Slack, which is a really high-powered basically group interaction messaging communication platform. So, and I'm on there, all of your trainers are on there, all of your classmates are on there, and we are on there, basically throughout the day. So if you're watching the lecture, later that same day and you've got a question, you just pop it into Slack and we'll answer, pretty much in real time. So you get that benefit of that live interaction, either way.